Guys, I bought this house for $45,000, but I'm not going to make much money on it. It's square footage limited and limited by the location. Let's go inside. I'll show you why. Just because you buy a property at a really good price, this was bought for $45,000 at the auction. So when you look at it, you're like, oh my God, Andrew, this is a home run deal. But two things can limit your back end value. Number one always is going to be the location, meaning the area the property is located in. This happens to be Park Forest. So I can only get so much for a property in Park Forest. And part of the reason is why I got it so inexpensive. Number two reason is going to be it's square footage limited. So what does that mean? Well, based on the square footage of the property and on the layout of the property, what happens is we can't really do what we usually do, which is kitchen, bedroom, and bath. We were able to open up the kitchen in this property, but we really were not able to add another bath into it, and neither were we able to make it a 3-bedroom. So now this property is a 2-bedroom property. So on the back end, doesn't matter how nice I make the property, I can't overprice the property. The property back end value is pretty much limited. $5,000 here or there, you may be able to get more, but just because I do a nicer job on the property, meaning I dump much more money in a rehab, I'm not going to be able to recover that on the back end. So we're going to walk through, I'm going to point out some of the things. As you've seen in a lot of other projects, we use the same LVP every single time. The trim in the property is pretty much the same. The kitchen is pretty standard, but here we were able to incorporate an island. And if you notice, the island here is blue cabinets. The rest of the cabinets are white. It's kind of one of those small little details, but it's a nice feature. Right? This is a nice open concept kitchen. So certainly compared to a lot of the things that are on the market, this is going to be a great feature. Brand new furnace, brand new hot water heater, all new plumbing, all new electrical, a double door refrigerator, right? Those are all the things. And then when we talk about being limited because of the layout of the house, right? We were not able to kind of sometimes we'll jam a third bedroom in, but here we just did not have the space. So we have bedroom number 1 over here, nice size bedroom. We have a second bedroom over here. And then the only thing that was left was we had a bathroom. So here we were able to basically redo the bathroom, make it nice, pretty standard for what we do in terms of what the baths look like. But we were kind of limited because of the square footage of this particular property, and it just didn't make sense to dump a lot of money in. So I'm going to go through numbers and kind of explain why I can't sell it for much more than what the back end is for this particular area. So let's go through the numbers. So let's go to the numbers on this property. The property was bought at an auction for $45,000. This is a Cook County auction, and so you don't get to see the property. So I bought the property just looking at the outside. So this property needed a lot of work. 45 purchase. On top of that, we ended up doing almost $60,000 in rehab on this property, and the $5,000-6,000 extra was because of the driveway. Long, big driveway, so we had to redo the entire driveway. Then you have about almost $10,000 carrying cost in terms of interest, about $5,000 in taxes, insurance, utilities, so on and so forth, and approximately $10,000 to $11,000 in terms of your sales costs. So when we look at the total amount of money from purchase to all the other costs, including rehab, it's about $132,000 or so is what I spent in this property. Now, I'd like to go ahead and price the property for $200,000. Unfortunately, because we're limited by the particular area, meaning location is what's going to determine your back end value. This property, if this sat somewhere else in a different suburb, it may be worth $300,000, $350,000, who knows, depending on the location. But real estate is all about location, location, location. So this particular property right now, we have it listed for $169,000, and we are hoping that it's going to sell somewhere around 160. But guys, at 160, I'm barely eking out a profit, maybe at the most $25,000 bucks, if not maybe only 20,000 bucks. Now the question becomes is it worth it? Yes, on the face of it, a lot of people were like, oh my God, Andrew, you got such a deal. But really, is it a deal? Right? You have to do so much work, and then what are you going to make? $15,000 or $20,000? For me, it would have been better off if I had just gone ahead and wholesaled the property and not have to worry about it, to have to do a rehab. But the numbers are what they are, even though this is a part of the $1 Million Challenge. Guys, I'd love to say every single property, we make money hand over fist. But guess what? That wouldn't be real. So this is one of those properties that you sometimes kind of have to question your own sanity, where I'm really not going to make that much money. If you want to know the reality of investing, you truly want to know what happens on the ground and not just what they show you on HGTV or on one of the shows online, right? Make sure you join us, subscribe, become a part of our community where you get to learn 100% free. How do you do that? You go to andrewholmesrealestate.com. That's andrewholmesrealestate.com. And you can watch the rest of the videos in this series. On some of them, I make a ton of money. On this one, not so much. But that's andrewholmesrealestate.com. Make sure you join our weekly meetings. They're 100% free. You can attend them in person or watch them online.